Welcome to Monday Motivations, 52 weeks to a more purposeful you. Every week we pick another topic out of this book and we discuss. And this week we're going to have Jill Van Dusen and we're going to be discussing the topic of energy. Jill and I, we've known each other for around a decade or so. You've been working with Rusty for 16 years, I think.
16 years, yeah.
Yep. So a little bit about our guest, Jill. So she was born and raised in San Francisco, and she's been living in the Roseville area, Placer County, since the 90s. You've been in real estate for 16 years after a rewarding 14-year career in telecommunications. You are ranked in the top 1% of realtors in the Tri-County area. And you are part of the Agent Leadership Council for Keller Williams. I love the way that KW does that with the leadership there. So let's see, you have a son, Kyle, who we adore. He's 27, and you and Kyle enjoy, I know we see you every Sunday. Well, the Sundays that we're all there at the same time, 11:30, but let's see. Now, one of the reasons that I was really excited to have you speak on this topic of energy is because it is something that you place a very high value on. If you follow her show, she does a Facebook Live, and it's on Instagram. It's called Get Real with Jill. And she incorporates real estate updates with a lot of inspiration and focus on health and fitness. So this topic of energy, I'm sure you got a lot out of it. So let's see, is there anything else I forgot? I like how you put your best book recommendation is the Book of Joy, Lasting Happiness in a Changing World. I'm excited to get a copy of that. So as far as this week's topic, energy, what did you get from the reading?
You know what, when I read that, and first of all, Corry, thank you so much for having me on your show. And I am a big fan. I was a big fan of yours and for a long time, and so blessed that it evolved into this great friendship. And now I feel like sisterhood.
Absolutely.
And who would have thought way back when we met that would have happened? And so I think the powers that be, they got us together, and I'm just blessed. And I mean, you guys are like family. So thank you. Yeah. And then of course, Monday Motivations, I think I got that book years ago, and it doesn't, what's really cool about Monday Motivation too is you don't have to just read it on a Monday. You have a great table of contents that if you're feeling a certain way or really want to focus on something, you just go to the table of contents and boom, there it is. So yeah. And look at all 52 things that you can actually, I'm sure that somebody's experiencing one or the two of those things that they need to look back for Monday Motivation in the 52 topics. So now I'm like, what was, okay.
Now, what did you get from the reading?
Yeah. So what it was is what kind of, you said it as diffusers, and what was the word you used?
Energy infusers. And energy drainers yeah.
So they can be both. So, and I think it's really important too, to keep the energy level with both of those. And so what I got out of that is, what are the diffusers? And the diffusers to me is actually, and here we're on it, is technology. And are we utilizing it in a healthy way? And then also people can suck your life away. And then the infusers, if I'm still using that correctly.
Yeah,
infusers is the circle of people that we hang out with. And are they going to help and uplift us, or are they going to drain us? And so, and then I also look at God that way, of course, and any of the extracurricular activities outside of work, how am I using those as an infuser? That's what I got out of that, of that one chapter, of that one page. It was a lot.
Yeah. And that's when I wrote this, I wanted this to be a book for busy people that you can just read literally one page. It'll take you 10, 15 minutes, and then you're energized for the day. So at the top, there's a Tony Robbins quote. He says, the higher your energy level, the more efficient your body, the better you feel, and the more you will use your talent to produce outstanding results. So what do you do to keep your energy levels high? Because you're always spunky, positive, and full of energy.
And and with what Tony Robbins has said, I think so many of us hear things repeated, but we don't really take those words into consideration. How many times do we hear, oh, we need to eat healthy, we need to sleep 8 hours a day? What he is saying is exactly what we need, and it's just doing it. So in order to be energized and have this energy and this has evolved, Corry, over time. I've heard it month after month, year after year, but it's different than doing it. And and really even this year, I'm really focusing, but I've always been an exercise enthusiast, always. That has been my number one. I really do not let outside things interfere with that, because if I'm good there, I can be good outward as well, because the physical and the mental are so important. So exercising and eating healthy and sleeping, those are the 3 things. And I know people are like, oh my gosh, I used to be able to function on 5 hours of sleep, and I cannot. And eventually that actually did catch up with me, because I can function on 5 hours of sleep, but if I do that 4 or 5 days in a row, it catches up and I am nothing for 2 days.
Yeah.
So I know those are basic things that we all talk about, and it really is getting back to the basics. And for people that want to even lose weight, be healthy, I think people actually, and I know I'm kind of getting off on a tangent, everybody needs to watch what they're putting in their mouth and what their body's absorbing.
Yes, it's so huge. I know. And it's funny because I think a lot of people are focused on mental health and mindset and doing things like that. And you bring up a good topic that we also have to pay attention to. It is, what are we putting in our bodies? Yeah.
And since I was younger, I think it's kind of in our DNA. I've always had an outgoing personality.
Me too.
Though I do believe, I mean, of course, like, for example, I was struggling today, and I was struggling because I'm tired. It's been kind of constant with work and stuff. And then so I had to really say, what is diffusing me and how can I change that? And I did. I brought it to the attention of my mind and said, okay, this is what I need to do, and get rid of this so that I can focus here and also get a good night's sleep. So I did get a good night's sleep, but because I consciously was kind of concerned about things, that one thing this morning, I was like, oh, it kind of stirred up something in me, and it was minor, but I was like, so I had to really step back and go, how do I want to react to this? And really, if you don't have the energy, the mental and physical energy, you don't step back and look at the situation and analyze it, which is so important for me to do, because I used to always react when I get mad or get upset. Well, no, I really feel like I have the mental and physical energy to step back and just be that person to relook at things. But back to energy. I think what you just said too, it's a mindset. And even though we all have our we're all real people. We all have our personal things. I think my clients that work with me probably have no idea of what's actually going on when I go home.
Yeah.
I mean, I have parents that are elderly. We have issues there. My dad has stage 4 liver cancer. And it's not that I'm fake in front of them. I am just I'm okay dealing with things as they come and approach, because I have, my mindset is with God, and that's how my day starts. And that's most important. And then what, oh, and then the other thing is, I really feel if I'm clean inside, that the outward is going to be healthy. So I'm always working on every day, Corry.
Yeah.
Every day. I am literally wake up every morning and I'm working on the inside, because I want to be to everybody that I come into contact with, somebody that they're going to remember, even if it was just a smile that I did.
Yeah. Well, and I really appreciate you bringing up the fact that all of us, we all have problems. We all have problems, like things like that's a problem, like health issues in the family, like there's these challenges, and I don't want to minimize it and call them challenges. They're problems, and it's painful, and it's draining, and it's difficult. So to be able to balance life's problems with the ongoing goals and passions, desires, interests, and responsibilities and all that, we really, I think as adults, we have to keep looking at what are my energy infusers, and then what are my energy drainers or suckers. And it could be different at different times, depending on what are the circumstances in our lives. So,
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go.
And so people today, especially with this whole COVID thing and stuff, everybody's kind of going through their own issues. And I think what's important here, and I so appreciate that you brought me on to talk about this, is I am a human being. There are definitely things that are going on in my life, and that people just don't see that on the outside. And it's not that I'm faking it, because everybody around my inner circle definitely knows what's going on. And I think an infuser is a circle of friends. I do have to say this, and I just want to reiterate the importance of what we put into our body, because I cannot have the energy and the level of meeting my clients' expectations and over exceeding them if I do not take care of myself with health.
Yeah.
So I'm not a nutritionist. As you know, Kyle has type 1 diabetes. My beautiful son, who just looks amazing, but he's got type 1 diabetes. His pancreas does not work. So we had to really figure out, and we know a lot about nutrition. And my big thing is, yes, I will have snacks. I'll have some sweets, but I really don't eat a lot of processed foods. And you will very rarely see me in fast food.
Yeah.
It's a treat. I look at that as a treat. I look at having a dessert as a treat. I'm not here to deprive myself. I'm here to be able to face the day so that I can give back to the outside world. And I know what my body needs.
Yes.
So that's really important.
Yeah. So other than the foundational aspect of taking care of our body and what we put in it to have energy, so eat for fuel, right? Other than that, what are some other ways that you would, if you were giving advice to yourself or to others, what are the other ways that you think helps people maintain great energy?
It's really, sometimes you have to departmentalize the things. So, and parents out there who have kids, I don't honestly, because Kyle's 27, I have no idea. Like you guys have 4 kids. You're running in different directions. Honestly, Corry, I look at you and I'm like, how are you doing this?
I don't know.
And I'm an empty nester. I mean, seriously. I mean, and you look like you just walked off the model runway right now.
No.
And I know, since I was a mom and being so involved in Kyle's upbringing and real estate and his sports, but we didn't have this crazy technology hitting us.
Yeah.
So it's really departmentalizing that and what is most important in a moment, and be where your feet are.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Let's just sit with that for a minute.
Okay.
Be where your feet are. So I recently started a new coaching program with the first coach I ever worked with, Allison Crow. She is amazing. And so be where your feet are. I get it. I love it. Like that concept of being present, be your best self. I totally get it. I've also loved when I started learning the drama triangle, like how to stay out of the drama triangle. We get triggered, we get in it. Well, now it's like I'm learning so much more about be where your feet are. Like, and what Allison, she talks about is staying in our whole self energy. Like,
oh, what is that? Yeah,
I'm going to tell you.
okay.
And for faith-based people, I like to layer in, it's like walk in the spirit. Okay.
Yeah.
So walking in the spirit, or walking in full self energy. So we know what it's like when we get out of self. So you get the negative text, you're on tilt, you're upset, you're agitated, you're irritated, you're overthinking. It could be the opposite of being upset. It could be apathy, depression, overthinking, worry, fight, flight, freeze, or froth. Froth is the overperforming. So when we're there, we're not being where our feet are, because we're now in our nervous system response and we're reactive.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy as it sounds to get back to yourself or be where your feet are, but there are eight, does this come out clear? Like it's not
calm,
okay.
connected, compassion.
So
Yes.
Calm. So when we're in our full, be where our feet are, when we're in our full, when I'm in my full, like I'm Corry. I'm going to be calm, not reactive. I'm going to be connected, which means I'm going to be paying attention to my needs, my wants and needs. A lot of us high functioning, performing people, overachievers, we're not connected. It's 2:00 and we haven't eaten.
That happens.
And don't you know, our stomach is growling, but we're not even connected with our own bodies. So connected, compassion is, so we want to get to that next client. We want to do that next thing. We're not even loving ourselves first, which is like love yourself as you love, or love others as you love yourself.
Right.
So compassion starts with ourself. Curious. We're quick to judge. We're quick to be black and white thinking, but curious is a way for us to be responsive, where we're not so rigid. We have more innovation. There's more lightness when we're curious. Confident. Like I'm confident. I can do this. Go for it. Creative. It's fun. Let's create a new solution. Oh, it's possible. Well, let's create a way to make it possible.
You're good at that too.
I try. Clear. Sometimes we're so confused. We have double-mindedness. We're not taking courageous, and that's the last thing is courageous. We're not taking courageous action because we're not clear. So that was a lot, but it's like, that's what be where your feet is for me today. Like, this is me in 2022. I was not this way as intentionally. And that's what I love. It's 52 weeks to a more purposeful you. I want to be purposeful. Yes. I want to be intentional. I want to be at choice. And I really feel like I just went through a lot of things the last about 8 years. And I was surviving, and kind of like you said, it might seem nice on the outside, but I was going in circles on the inside. So
And look at how amazing things have come out, you know?
Things are coming around.
And that's patience, that's faith. But I think to have that patience, the faith, that does take our energy level to, if we're weak and timid, not that timid's a bad thing, but if we're weak, we won't have that faith that we need. We won't have that strength to fight the fight. So I think it definitely, even starting the day with God is so important. But with this, the calm that you're saying is be where your feet are. I will tell you this. And sometimes maybe we need to say that to somebody that we're talking to. My client, who I adore, she can tell that I was like at my end, not with her, not with the transaction, but with the craziness of the day that kept hitting me. And she said, Jill, be where your feet are. Oh. And I went, oh my gosh. Thank you. I mean, I'm feeling that right now. And I was just, a calmness struck over. And so anybody that we're seeing that could be like this, like we may need to say that to somebody so that it's okay. Just be where your feet are. And last night is kind of a good example of just, and everybody's dealing with this every day, is, okay, I have 10 things I have to do and I'm getting bombarded. And how am I going to make that one thing so perfect for me to do? And it's not going to happen. So what can I do to still enjoy it? So long story short, as you know, the Bible conference is going on at Bayside, and I knew I was going to be getting there late, trying to find a parking spot. I didn't want to miss the music. I didn't want to miss the speaker. All right. So there's a diffuser going on in my brain going, you're never going to get there. It's never going to happen. You're never going to watch it. You said you wanted to go every night. And I'm like, you know what? I could do this. I could do this by just staying at home and watching it.
So you were confident, I can do this. And then you were creative. You created a solution.
Yep.
And you stepped out of either or.
Yes.
I either go or I don't go. It's like, oh, wait.
Exactly.
I don't go and I get it.
Yes. And people, and sometimes you just need the energy to be able to be that creative and do that and realize, don't let the diffusers in your head suck you dry that you're not going to be able to go and you're no good about it because you said you were going to go. And it was amazing. And
Well, and I think this is a perfect way to tie up our talk today is we talked about energy infusers being, it could be the food we eat, people, activities we're doing, and then we talked about drainers. But this last thing we'll close with is when the drainer is our thinking. The drainer is when a part of ourself pops up and starts draining our energy through negative self-talk. And being able to, and I like, you know, when we're connected and we listen and then we have compassion with ourselves, like, okay, you had compassion with yourself, like you got connected. I want to go to the conference. I don't have time to get there or I don't want to deal with the parking. I don't want to deal with the drive, but I want to go. And instead of just, you said you were going to go every day. Okay, yeah, I did. But now I'm going to get curious. Well, how could I do it with these barriers?
Yeah.
I can make this happen. I'll watch it at home.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to do. And you executed. Correct. And I love it. So
and guess what? I had my phone off because my phone was blowing up all day. And it's like, that's just, I know so many people out there are the same way. There's just way too many distractions. And what Gary Keller talks about this, you choose it's ultimately up to us. We choose. Am I going to choose to watch it and answer the phone? Because I feel, as you know, we are high achievers. We don't want to disappoint somebody. I want to provide the best service possible. Well, I can choose to do that, but then I'm really not taking care of what's important to me. Nobody's going to give me back this time.
Yeah.
And the one other thing, Corry, is, you know, the half glass, half full thing.
Yeah.
Because so much of this is about attitude. And I think taking those steps that hopefully you're going to do a class on that.
What I can do, I can post this. I mean, this is from Allison, my coach.
Okay.
She gets all the credit.
All right. Well,
but yeah, you know what? I think I posted this on my Facebook, but I'll talk to my gals and figure out how to get that done.
Because that really is it. And I'm not to say there's not hard, like super hard things of somebody getting sick, or, you know, health issues, or somebody getting a result of cancer. That's, those are very, very traumatic things. And there's ways that we can get through it. But I think, again, the mindset and the being physically good to yourself can help fight a lot of those things when you're faced with them. But I'm talking more specific about the everyday challenges that moms face, dads face, now facing with, you know, closing down this, closing down that. And, but I will say, when I think of the half glass full and the half glass empty, I mean, we have always looked at the half glass full. I've never not, no matter what I've gone through with in my life. Yeah. But I also think the rest of the glass is opportunity. So I see it as, yeah, my glass is half full, but look at all the opportunity I still have to make it full.
Yes.
So that's
always hope for more growth, more healing, more progress, more positive impact. There's always that opportunity for more blossoming, more expanding, rather than scarcity of this is all I have. This is all there is. Yeah.
I couldn't live like that. And I again, it's that whole energy thing. It's the diffusers and infusers. Who am I going to bring into my life to help lift me up? And I want to be that same person. And then get the diffusers out.
Yeah.
Can I give you one quick example?
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're all in real estate, times are good. And there was a diffuser client. And this is the first time in my 16-year career that before she signed the listing agreement, I didn't bring it in the house. I didn't bring it. And I just had a conversation with her. I would never meet her expectation. She was sucking the life out of me before I even signed the listing, in a very unhealthy way. I mean, I can take situations, Corry.
Yeah, I know.
Very, very unhealthy way. And I wouldn't do that, not just to myself, but to my team. As I'm driving to Carl's Jr., because she demanded that I get her a burger on the way to her house, but that was okay. I can take that. I can get her a Carl's Jr. But here, one thing, this is kind of funny. And I live in Rocklin. I had no idea where the Carl's Jr. was because I don't eat fast food. So I'm texting Amy and Michelle. I'm like, I don't know where Carl's Jr. is. And so Amy's getting directions, like, it's across from Costco. And I would go to Costco.
The traffic.
And I had no idea though.
Oh, but it's there and okay, I got you.
I'm not looking for a Carl's Jr. So anyway, long as that's a diffuser. And you guys, it's okay. And give yourself grace. You can get rid of the diffusers, because most important is who you are inside and how you're going to be to your family on the outwards.
Yeah. Okay. Now I have one more thing to say. Okay. Two I personalities together. I'm like, oh, it'll be 20 or 30 minutes. Okay. Let me see 10 minutes. This is a crack up. We could use our video for a disc training. And it's like, here's your eyes. Yeah. Okay. Squirrel. Okay. Back to focus. What was I going to say? Oh, I know. My last thing I was going to say, how you were talking about clients. So another thing that Allison's been like totally inspiring me about is, we get the concept as business owners of having a P&L, and we know that we want to grow our net profit. We know that, focus on income minus expense is your profit. So you pay attention to your financial P&L. As business owners, how often do we do a P&L for our energy?
Ooh, that's really good.
And we start going, okay, here's my income energy.
Yeah.
And then here are the expenses.
Yeah.
And then that's my net. So when we go to bed at night, I want to go to bed fulfilled and like I conquered the day, but not like oh my, like I'm so glad this day is over. Right.
And like plop on the bed and go, I finally get to rest.
I want like a nice wind down.
Yes.
But that takes energy to have a nice nighttime routine, right?
Yeah.
But when we're just drained and we're at like overdraft, we're in the red, then we just crash.
Yeah.
And so energy was our topic today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jill, so much for chatting. I'm energized just from spending time with you. And I hope everybody watching, you're also energized and you're inspired to pay attention to what brings you energy and what drains you. And everybody, I really want you to check out, Jill has a program called Get Real with Jill. And can you tell us just where they can access it and the time?
Yeah, so I have it every week. It's live every Thursday from 1 to 1:30. It's on Facebook. I do advertise it on Instagram and Facebook, and it's just different topics to bring people together, kind of based on what real life is. We're all average people out there facing many challenges. And so I highlight community events, and we talk about real estate too, because that's what I do. So so I'd love for people to join it. You can follow me at look what Amy made me.
Oh, how cute. I love it.
Yeah.
Follow Jill. Oh, that is so cute.
Is that so cool?
One? Okay.
Yeah, of course she will.
Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you next week for Monday Motivation. And our next week, I'm going to start telling you what our next week's topic is. Next week's topic is grow. Who wants to grow in 2022? Lots of different ways we can grow. We can grow our mindset, our emotions. We can grow spiritually. All right. See you all.
Thank you, Corry. Bye. Thank you so much.